The question is that the proposed expenditure be agreed to, and I call the member for Stirling.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I rise to speak in support of the government's defence budget, which represents a critical investment in a safer Australia existing within a more secure region. This budget contains measures which are aligned with our national interests here at home, whilst at the same time upholding the common values we share with our international partners and regional neighbours. The flagship of these measures, the Integrated Investment Program, sets out more than $200 billion of investment in defence capabilities over the decade to 2028-29, which will deliver the capabilities outlined in the 2016 Defence White Paper. I support the increases in funding to the defence budget in percentage of GDP terms, which I understand is on track to reach 2% of GDP by the financial year 2020-21. I also commend the way our government has spoken about our intentions openly and honestly with our neighbours, partners and allies. This has contextualised our step up and goes some way to ensuring our activities cannot be seen as belligerent or excessive. The Australian government has a clear vision to step up and enhance our Pacific family ties based on shared values and a clear plan to work together to support a thriving Pacific community. As the Prime Minister has stated, Australia embraces our Pacific family, with whom we have special relationships and duties. Our close neighbours, our major trading partners, our alliance partners and the world's fastest growing economies. The Australian Strategic Policy Institute wrote after the election of the Morrison government that our decision to appoint a double-hatted Defence and Foreign Affairs Portfolio Minister for this initiative puts the Morrison government in a strong position to be sincere and open in its engagement with the rest of the Pacific family, further stating that walking the talk matters in the Pacific. The idea of an Australia that is active in the Pacific and one that walks the talk is of personal interest to me. Having served as a platoon commander in East Timor and a company second-in-command in Solomon Islands for the Australian Army. My wife is also a former Australian Army officer, so as a family we have committed much of our lives to protecting Australia's interests in the Indo-Pacific and to supporting and working with our regional neighbours. I now welcome the opportunity that serving in this parliament provides me in contributing to the debate about our future role within the region. I also note that our government is strengthened by the fact that both our Defence Minister and Assistant Defence Minister are also ex-service people. We collectively understand that we need a defence force which is agile enough to respond to emerging circumstances, equipped with the tools they need to complete their missions and capable of advancing our interests and building strong bilateral relationships with our closest neighbours. A key component of Australia stepping up in the Pacific and continuing to take engagement with our regional partners to the next level is the provision of 21 new Guardian-class patrol boats and 12 Pacific Island nations and Timor-Leste. The replacement of the Pacific patrol boats is an important part of the government's $2 billion 30-year commitment to the Pacific under the Pacific Maritime Security Program. In concluding my comments and also to contextualise my question to the Minister, I reflect on my own journey in this policy space so far. I've been tactically deployed at the forefront of our defence activities in our region, and I'm now contributing to the future direction of defence and foreign policy. So I can confirm that, based on my lived experience and that of my former colleagues, the Morrison government's priorities are absolutely right, and our investments in the Pacific will lead to a stronger and more secure Australia. In this context, I ask the following question of the Minister. Can the Minister provide further details as to how the defence budget is supporting the Pacific step-up?
I thank the member.